dragon.
Now this is Rome, and the way it will appear when it comes. You know, Rome was in power. It is not in power today, but it's going to come back in power again because it must be around at the coming of the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? Now Rome was in power under one ruler. That was like the Caesar or whatever. Then when it come back in power, it will be in power under two rulers. You will have a religious head and you will have a secular head. We'll call a religious head the Pope of Rome. How about we call him that? And we'll call the secular head the head over the European common market. Because when you look at the European common market coming back into power, that is Rome coming into power. You understand what I'm telling you? Because every one of those nations that is a part of the European common market, they had to sign the Treaty of Rome. Right. Because Rome got to be in power when the Lord returns. Right. And you are looking at it under a two-horned system, two heads. You got a religious head and you got a secular head. Go ahead, read.
And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him.
Go ahead.
And he causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders.
And notice what he said. He doeth what? Great and he doeth great wonders. Go ahead and read.
So that he make a fire come down from
heaven. Wait a minute. He doeth great wonders that he do what? And who is he operating by? The book just told you he's operating by the dragon, didn't it? Right. He doeth great wonders that he does what? That he make a fire come down from heaven. Go ahead and read.
On the earth in the sight of men.
Now we coming right back here, but let's go to the 19th chapter of Revelation 1 minute. And I just want you to show you that this is a spiritual man that is doing that. Because you got these same two horns here. Revelation chapter 19. And we want to pick it up here. Hold on a minute, because I'm throwing this in here for a little flavor. So I got to get the exact verse here. Let's go to Revelation 19. And we will pick it up at verse 16. We'll pick it up at the coming of the Lord here. Because this man got to be around at the coming of the Lord. Because the book said the Lord going to destroy him with the brightness of his coming. It said, right. Didn't it? No, well, let's pick it up at the coming of the Lord. Verse 16. Go ahead. 19 and 16. Read it.
And he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written.
Go ahead.
King of kings and Lord of lords.
And that is Jesus. When he returned as King of kings and Lord of lords. The Lamb Day is over. That's over with. He ain't coming back as no lamb no more. This time, King of kings and Lord of lords. Go ahead and read.
And I saw an angel standing in the sun. And he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God.
Go ahead.
That ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains,
Go ahead.
and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them.
Go ahead.
And the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great.
Go ahead.
And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered.
Now you got this secular head that's over this Roman Empire. He too is called the beast. So now he said, I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse. To make war against the Lord, in other words. Go ahead, read.
And against his army.
And against his army. Go ahead.
And the beast was taken.
And the beast was taken. Go ahead, read.
And with them the false prophet.
And when you said false prophet, that means a religious person, doesn't it? Yep. So now you have, how many do you have here? Two, right? Mm-hmm. I saw the beast and I saw the false prophet. What did the false prophet do? Go ahead, read.
That wrought miracles before him.
That wrought miracles before him. Go ahead, read.
Which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast.
That deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. Finish that up.
And them that worship his image.
Go ahead.
These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone.
Now we can go back and read it in Revelation 13. Now that we know who we are dealing with. Revelation chapter 13. And we'll pick it up. Back at verse 14. 13 and 14. Go ahead and read.
And deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
And what did it say? He made fire come down from heaven, right?
Right.
You know, just like Satan did in the days of Job. Now this man is operating by the power of Satan here. So now he done made fire come down from heaven and deceive them that dwell on earth. Go ahead and read on.
That they should make an image to the beast.
That they might make an image to the beast. Go ahead and read.
Which had the wound by the sword and did live.
Uh-huh.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
And he even had the power to give life unto this image of the beast. Go ahead and read.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Now, you know you're going to say this is some great power of God. You know, that's what they're going to say, right? You know, the man going to make fire come down from heaven. But he's going to deceive the people. Let's go now to Revelation chapter 17, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. Revelation 17 and 1. Be patient. I ain't got much long. You ain't got much long. You know, sometimes you get off easy and sometimes you don't. So don't say nothing. So you don't say nothing when you get off easy. So don't say nothing today. I do an hour and a half, then nobody said nothing. I do 2.5 hours, then you sit there and be quiet. Revelation chapter 17 and began reading at verse 1. 17 and 1. We are almost there, y'all. Just hold on for a minute. 17 and 1. Okay, go ahead and read.
And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me,
go ahead,
saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
So now this is Rome and the religion that came with Rome. This is the woman here that's sitteth upon many waters. In other words, sitting over peoples and tongues and nations. Go ahead and read on.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
He said, now the kings of the earth, they have fornicated with this woman. In other words, he's talking about spiritual fornication because, if you're a servant of God, then you are supposed to be married to the Lord, and that means you are not supposed to have any dealings with any other God. So now these people, they are having dealings with other gods. So now they have committed fornication with this woman. Go ahead and read.
And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Now, you are an inhabitant of the earth, and I always like to ask the question, how do you know that you have not been made drunk with the wine of this woman's fornication? Do you know who she is, first of all? If you don't even know who she is, you don't know if you've been drinking out of her cup or not. First thing you need to find out is who she is, right? Then you can tell me whether or not you've been drinking out the cup. And I guarantee you, if you've been around a while, you done hit the cup. Go ahead and read.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness.
Go ahead.
And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy.
Go ahead.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Go ahead.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
Read on.
Having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication.
And you know what this filthiness of her fornication is? This is this bad doctrine you get, and the doctrine that you are getting, it is not the doctrine of God, but it is the doctrine of Satan. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Go ahead and read on.
And upon her forehead was a name written.
Go ahead.
Mystery, Babylon the Great.
Now he said up on her forehead was the name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great. Go ahead and read.
The mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
See what she's called the mother of harlots. That means she got some daughters that came out of her, right? Now that doctrine that you got, it came from her. And then she has, I might as well just tell you, ain't no need to keep you in mystery. She represents the Catholic Church. And everybody knows, if you've been around a minute, you know she is called the Mother Church. Yep. But everybody knows as well that all of the churches that are called Protestants, they came out of her. Right. And the doctrine that she came up with, didn't the Protestants keep it? Yep. Right. Where did the first day of the week, Sabbath day, come from? Did it come from the Bible? It didn't come from the Bible, did it? It came from Rome, didn't it? Well, Rome got it right. Catholic Church got it right. Well, don't the Baptists and the Methodists, don't they have it too? Yep. Jesus died on Good Friday and rose Easter Sunday morning. That didn't come out of the Bible, did it? Where did that come from? That came from Rome too, didn't it? Well, don't the Baptists and the Methodists and all them have it too? So the same doctrine that she got, that is the same doctrine that they have too. They are her daughter. In other words, whatever mama came up with, she just passed it on to her daughters. So now, you are not dealing with the word of God anymore. You are dealing with the doctrines of the devil. I'm going to show you that. Let's go over to, this scripture here is dealing with her as well. Let's go over to, 1 Timothy chapter 4. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. 1 Timothy 4, we're going to pick it up at verse 1. You got 3 more after this, and you out of here. 1 Timothy chapter 4. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. 1 Timothy 4, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. Okay, go ahead and read.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly